order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Any additions or deletions to the agenda?
Not at this time.
Commissioners, can I get a motion and a second to approve the agenda? Motion made by Commissioner Casper, second by Commissioner Moran. Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Consent agenda. Is there anything within the consent agenda anyone would like removed for further discussion? What is the wish of the board?
Mr. Chair, I'd make a motion that we approve the consent agenda as it was presented to the board.
Motion made by Commissioner Blaine, second by Commissioner Casper. Discussion? Hearing none, this will be a roll call. Commissioner Blaine?
Aye.
Commissioner Casper?
Aye.
Commissioner Moran?
Aye.
Myself, Commissioner Lemire is aye. Motion carried. Next on the agenda is Suicide Prevention Awareness Month proclamation. Morning, Nate. Good morning.
43, I've seen that. Where was the driver?
Good morning.
Morning.
How's everybody doing this morning?
Fabulous.
Great. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. If we could, when everybody gets settled, if we could get your name for the record, that'd be fantastic.
I can start.
All right.
Good morning.
Good morning, Nate.
Morning.
September is Suicide Awareness Prevention Month, and I'm Nathan Bertram with Morrison County Health and Human Services Director, and all you have to do is introduce yourself.
I'm Carrie Zeck with the Morrison County Local Advisory Council on Mental Health.
Good morning, Carrie.
I'm Lori Lee, and I'm representing the Drop-In Center of Morrison County.
Morning, Laura Lee.
I'm Gerald Vick.
Morning, buddy.
Morning.
I'm Pam Allard. I'm the coordinator at the Morrison County Drop-In Center.
Morning, Pam.
Good morning, Melanie Erickson, Morrison County Health and Human Services Supervisor. Good morning, Julie Newman, Adult Mental Health Social Worker.
All right, thank you all for being here. Carrie, would you like to continue?
I would. Suicide Prevention Awareness Month proclamation. Whereas September is known as National Suicide Prevention Awareness Month, which helps promote resources and awareness around the issue of suicide prevention. It teaches how to help others and how to talk about suicide without increasing the risk of harm. And whereas suicidal thoughts can affect anyone, regardless of age, gender, race, orientation, income level, religion, or background. And whereas, according to the Minnesota Department of Health, more than 813 lives were lost to suicide, and that's just in Minnesota in 2024. After 20 years of increasing rates, that trend appears to be leveling. And whereas rural areas in Minnesota had the highest rates of suicide in 2024, twice as high as the Twin Cities metro areas. And whereas middle-aged and elderly adults have the highest rate of suicide in the state of Minnesota. And whereas Morrison County is committed to suicide prevention by supporting the Morrison Todd Wadena Community Health Board Suicide Prevention Team, as well as the Minnesota North Central Suicide Prevention Coalition. And whereas everyone in our communities can play a role in preventing suicide, we all need the occasional reminder that we are all silently fighting our own battles. A simple phone call, message, or hug can go a long way towards helping someone realize suicide is not the answer. And whereas everyone can raise awareness of this issue by participating in events such as Chalk It Up, sharing the social media messages from Morrison County, and checking in with each other. And whereas all can share that support is available including 988 by call, text, or chat, the Peer Support Warm Line, 844-739-6369, and the Minnesota Farm and Rural Helpline at 833-600-2670. And whereas, while there is no single cause of suicide, the Minnesota State Suicide Prevention Plan encourages all of us as citizens to share messages of hope and help. And whereas we can all help to prevent suicide, make it okay to talk about mental health and ask for help. Now therefore, do I read this part?
You
We,
may.
Yes, yep.
the County Board of Commissioners, do hereby proclaim September as Suicide Prevention Awareness Month in Morrison County and urge all citizens support one another and make it okay to talk about mental health throughout the year. Adopted this, the 9th day of September, 2025. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Good job. What's the wish of the board?
Mr. Chair, I make a motion to approve this resolution.
Motion by Commissioner Blaine,
I'll second it.
second by Commissioner Moran for the Suicide Prevention Awareness Month proclamation. Discussion? Commissioner Casper?
Yes, thank you. Man, you're a smooth reader. You did a beautiful job on that, absolutely. And I want to thank you all. This is such a huge issue. Just out in my area alone, in the Lastrip area, it's just been a hot spot in the recent months. I mean, we lost a neighbor just week before last, 43 years old. Left a beautiful family behind. There's a lot of hurt out there. It's just so painful. Tears, tears, tears. And yesterday, the cattle were out. Pops is nowhere to help put them back in. You know, it's so sad. It just breaks your heart in half. Thank you for being there. God bless your efforts. I hope you can talk many, and we'll try to do the same, talk many off the edge, that they would know that there's hope. There's always hope. Thank you, and God bless you.
If I
Yeah,
could
and the
say
other thing-
something.
Absolutely.
We are going to be going, the four of us are gonna go stand on Bank Square. We have signs. Both sides
Nice.
that we have made, and, we just want people to recognize it as they're driving by.
Very good.
Very good. Great idea.
Mike,
Commissioner Casper, go
thank
ahead.
you. I was just going to say that doing the numbers, you mentioned the number 1,300, that's nearly 4 a day. That's incredible. What a horrible loss of life. Thank you for making a difference.
Mr. Chair, thank you.
Blaine?
So, you know, we look at this, we look at the statistics are, as Commissioner Casper says, are staggering. We look at the topic of the issue and it's intimidating. And this is an issue that makes us feel uncomfortable as humans. We're not comfortable with this, but I think it's important. It's important that you're here. It's important that we have this proclamation and we bring this. We do our part to bring this to the public awareness out there. But privately, I think we also have to. Look in the mirror and recognize the fact that we all know someone. We all know at least one person out there who needs our support, and we know that. And we also know that sometimes pushes us outside our comfort zone to have those discussions out there. The bright light in that is that I believe, and from experience, when we take the time to have those conversations with those people who need our support and our help and just our love and understanding, that I can guarantee you that person will feel tremendously better, but you yourself will feel better about doing good things. But I think we're at that point when we see numbers like this, when we have incidences like that hit so close to home, we have to start looking at it being more than what we do on our own. So we have to start talking with others. We have to talk to our friends and encourage them to do the same thing that we're doing. They know people that we don't know who need that help too. And I think that if we do that, that becomes the multiplier that we can make a greater difference out there. I applaud you for your work. You will hear me honking my horn when I see you here later this morning. And I'm grateful that you take the time to be with us and have the proclamation, Mr. Chair.
Very good, Commissioner Blaine. I just want to say thank you for everything you do. We all know that people can be cruel, and at times the world can look hopeless, and a simple hello or a smile or sharing hope means a lot to people. And if you do have somebody that just doesn't seem right, ask them, is something bothering you? Is there something I can help out with? And we're so happy that you are here working on this proclamation to bring awareness to suicide prevention, and we appreciate it very much. Gentlemen, we got a motion and a second. All in favor of that motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Would everybody like a picture?
Sure.
So we can put it in the record?
We'd like a picture with you.
Yeah. You can bring your signs too.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah.
Where do you want us?
Right up here.
Oh, right up there. Woo, we can put behind the big guy.
Are we widgetless today?
Well, for now.
I gotta go by.
How are you? Been a long time.
So cute. You know, you're just awesome.
Thank you for being here.
What, am I? Oh, you're fine. You're good. And we took it all right. Do you remember Mike? Morning, Julie. I met Mike before. We've a couple of views with us, haven't you? Yeah.
Can you hold the proclamation, Julie?
You knew Mike. Oh, good.
That front piece will.
Ladies, come together a little bit. I don't want it to be a
Okay, you gonna hold your sign up?
Is it good, Tapa?
Just 1 second.
Oh, I like that. Oh, sorry.
No problem.
Give it back.
And smile. I'll grab a few. Got him.
Awesome.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much.
Thank you.
Guys,
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it too. Have a great day.
yeah, you did.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you, not of us.
Good day.
Oh, yeah, thanks, buddy.
That'll get you going again.
That's a must. All right. That was nice. Next on the agenda is Crookneck Lake Improvement District.
This is the indicator that we're moving to fall.
Yeah, this is the indicator.
Actually, it might be early this year.
Good morning.
Good morning, Board. Matt, I think if you can just slide to the first slide down, we'll just go that route. Okay. This is what, I'm Dan Sanger I don't know if, Commissioner Moran, if I've ever met you before. I'm Dan Sanger. I'm the chairman for the CLID up there for at least a little longer. That could be a long time. Sometimes you have these until you pass away.
They're lucky to have
Yeah, well, I don't know. And so anyway, this is what I said I was going to do last year, and it's the same as what we do every year. But I'll start at the bottom. So managing the CLID, we only have two things left to do. This was the report, and then we do the taxation levy certification. And then I have to do the grant program, the report, and that's it for the year. Water quality studies, we do those every year as part of treating the lake. The DNR likes us to do that. The Secchi dish is the clarity of the water looking down. We get clearer and clearer every year. And so last year, we were kind of at that, we started out at 11 feet. We dropped down to 7 feet during the summer. This year, we've stayed at 11 feet. But we have no zebra mussels. We can't find them. And so we don't know why we're clear.
I figured for sure it was zebras.
No, we can't find them. And so, and we don't have the villager test back yet. So maybe we have villager test, but the DNR feels we probably don't have zebra mussels because it's a muddy bottom. We don't have, the only rocks we have is along the riprap around it. Shallow, maybe they can't survive because they like something to cling on to. The docks that get pulled out, roughly 50 to 70 by commercial sources. I know the people that pull them out, and so if they put them on shore, they don't have to inspect them, but since I know them, they inspect them, they find nothing. So,
Yeah, they should be on there.
and they should be on them. So, and we have the settling plates. 5 locations, we don't have any there. So we can't find them. So I don't think we have anything. But quality of the water, we're trending where we want to be. We're exactly where we should be. And if anything, we're going a little bit more positive where we're going to the good. If we drop down to the next slide, there's been a couple of changes over the last year for the lake. And it's probably because we have a historical pattern where we've been testing. And I'll point out zone number 2. In the past, you always get a survey in the spring for curly-leaf pondweed. And one of the issues is you try to get the surveyor out there and he wants to come right after the ice goes out and survey because you're dealing with 60 degrees. Once you hit 60 degrees, you can't treat. That's the cutoff. So ice goes out, try to get the surveyor there, and then there's about a 2-week period permitting, and then you treat. And so you play this dance of trying to get it all done in time. And so we have this little horseshoe down there too that we've been treating for, as long as I've been doing this, and then some other areas here and there. DNR came to us last year and said, hey, there's not enough surveyors, there's so many lakes with curly-leaf pondweed now. We're willing to give you an overlay permit of where we've treated in the past.
Nice.
And that gave us number 2. And then you can have that to treat, give you the permit now, and then we work with our surveyor, and he comes out one day before the treaters are gonna come and treat. And so we lined it all up, it's the perfect storm. So he comes out and treats, and the surveyor is just gonna verify, yes, it's there. And then they treat the next day. And we treated when the lake hits 60 degrees. Optimal time for growth and everything. And I sit there and I monitor the temperature of the lake. When he came out, he found zone number 1, little additional. We treated that area 3 times in the last 7 years or so. So then next year, we'll be able to include 1 and 2 zones for the treatment when we apply for our application, if they keep this going for another year, this process. Yeah. So it works for Crookneck, and they may apply this to other lakes. So it happened to work for us real well. So that's a significant change in this permitting process. So when we put in for next year, we'll put in for zone 1 and 2. Survey will come out just before it hits 60 degrees. Yes, it is, and then they'll treat. Or if he says you don't have any, then we call off the treatment. And that's a significant change on how they do permitting. The second thing is we had to change at the recommendation of the DNR and of our treatment, the herbicide we're using. And we went to one, and I'll probably mispronounce it. They call it Flumio, but it's Flumioxazine. And it's also a contact herbicide, very similar to Diquat that we've used in the past, which was a contact. Has some advantages. Changing it up is probably good after 5 years, because it may be, the efficacy increases if you change it up, because it gets used to it after a while. You can look down, you can see it a little easier, because it's kind of a milky solution that they put in there. But the most significant thing is it stays where you spray it. Dicot likes to migrate to warm temperatures. We want it to sink, get down where the weeds are, put dicot in there. It wants to go to warmer temperatures, so if it's warmer on the top, it's going to stay on the top. And so, few advantages. Disadvantage, it's $612 per acre versus $116 per acre for dicot, so considerably more expensive. But we had very good success with it. It appears to really taking care of the curly leaf in that zone. So we're pretty happy with it. But we'll have to see what happens next year. So next year we'll treat about, like, I don't know, roughly 12 acres next year. I don't see the number here. All right. 10.1. 10.1. So we'll treat all of that. So an extra 2 acres. And we'll put in for that this fall. So the next slide is the one that's kind of this is our secondary survey. The yellow dots is where a diver actually goes in and looks for zebra mussels at the boat access. He skips across to one of our members on the lake who's on the board. So we get access to his docks, so he looks for all around those. We have 3 members right in a row, so he checks all those docks. And then the buoy that sits out there, that's the 3rd one in the middle, no zebra mussels. And then he would look for Eurasian water milfoil that we successfully treated in 19 and 20, and we eradicated that in the lake. And that was down kind of as you just come out of the bay and the hook that comes down, that's where we had it. And we've eradicated the Eurasian water milfoil in that area. We haven't had it since then. 2 little small areas that we plucked it out. And then he looked for starry stonewort, and that's part of our grant this year. We're going to look for that and see if we could find it. We did a self-survey towards the end of July. Several people went out and looked for it. We couldn't identify any. He came in at the very end of July, and he didn't find any either, so it validated our results. And so this was that survey. Then you can skip forward. Treasure report, we're healthy. You know, we went down a little bit, most likely due to the cost of the herbicide. But we're satisfied where we're at. That's about 2.5 years of very expensive treatment. Because if we had a bad year, we would raise up our levy next year to make up for it, and it wouldn't see it until the following year. So we're happy where we're at. We want to stay below 100,000. The next one. So again, next year, this is what was voted on at our annual meeting that we had. Same performance plan as you saw at the beginning. We carry it over from year to year. There's nothing going to change with that. We're going to still survey, treat, monitor the quality of the lake, and manage it based on our establishment order and the statutes that are put forward by the DNR. Next one. And I'll be asking you to approve that. The next one up would be our budget. This one can be a little confusing to people. There's 2 ones that I'll draw your attention to. The one on the far left is the proposed budget. This is what our membership approved. This is, if we had a worst case scenario, this is what we would spend. And so we asked them to approve that, and then we won't go over these numbers. But we anticipate spending the second column, which is a projected cost. The reason we provide that column to them is that's what we use for the levy, because we don't want to drive it up real high. So we anticipate we're going to spend that much money. Now, what goes into that decision, if we go to the next one, is it kind of getting into now the levy. And we recognize that the levy is set by the board members, but we do take a lot of public comment at our meeting. And so we look at, what's the cost going to be? Can we get through 2.5 years of really bad weeds if we get high production weeds? The lake is going down, and so there's more potential of weeds to grow. AIS grants, at one time, there was potential we wouldn't have grants next year, but I talked to Darren, he says he thinks we'll be grants this year, so that kind of got eliminated. The Flumio, we're going to probably have to use that herbicide as opposed to dicot, costs a little bit more. And then would we find a secondary invasive that we would treat? And because we always apply for contract or for permits to treat any invasive. And so we put that all together. And our membership, they particularly said, we don't care what you want for a levy. That's what they tell us, because you're managing it. We want you to have enough. But what we're particularly like, they just don't want to yo-yo. You know, set it and just kind of, and so we're at 40, and we've been there for a few years now. When we had a bad year, several back, and we were carrying around a $40,000 budget, we had to go up to 95 and then 60, drove it up, and then we brought it back down to 40. And that's kind of where we've been hovering, and then your grants kept us up there. That was prior to grant period. And so we recommended a 40 for the board, and that's what the board then recommended is $40 levy. And approved.
Just one question then. So do you want us to approve the first column budget then? Is that what you're?
The first column budget.
And then you'll just
Yep.
take that out of your reserves if you need it?
Absolutely.
That's smart.
Yep,
Right.
yep, and so that's why we picked that line. That's what we'd go for, and it'd come out of the reserve, and that would take us down to, you know, roughly 60,000 plus what we'd bring in.
If you need it.
Yep.
Yep, all right. So gentlemen, we'll need a motion and a second for the performance plan, their budget, and their levy.
I can make that motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Casper, second by Commissioner Wincher. Discussion? Great.
just have a question.
Okay,
Oh, I'm
go
sorry,
ahead.
go ahead.
I just want to say, great report again. You always do such a great job of making your report, and I can't believe you don't have any Euregian milfoil in there. You got that eradicated. That's impressive. And it's good that you don't have no zebra mussels, and it sounds like your lake is doing really well. You still having troubles with them boats that you don't like?
Well, the
remember
report
the
came
name.
out, two of those boats moved off.
Okay.
They went over Shamano, it's a bigger lake. But the biggest problem we're having now is those high-performance jet skis that,
skis.
you know, they dance around like this now and they go down.
Oh.
And so, to give you an idea, this past weekend, I checked the water clarity on Thursday before the holiday, and it was 12 in 3 spots. I checked it on Tuesday, and it was 3.
3. Wow.
So that's how much they can stir it all up. And then the weeds just are rolling in for the whole week, because they can just tear it all up. But the report that came out on those high-performance boats was, if you have a lake that is 18 feet, you should be 18 feet deep and stay 300 feet from shore. Well, we only have a small band where it's deeper than 18 feet.
Yeah.
And so you'd probably have 1 football field out there where you could use them in our lake, and that's their recommendation.
Yeah.
So I don't know what would come of that, but we only had him out there for a little bit. He comes over and visits because they still own the property, but he stays on Shamano for the most part. He's a dealer,
Makes
and
sense.
so.
Commissioner Casper?
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Yes.
I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, it's my apologies to you. Go ahead.
Dan, there again, like Commissioner Lemire said, what a great job overseeing this lake. I was just gonna ask you, just curiosity, this curly leaf, what's the average depth you see that growing in? Do you have any idea?
Our area there, it's probably 9 feet.
Okay.
9 to 11 feet is mostly through there.
Is that stuff surface too? Does it get that tall or?
We treat it before it allows it to get to the surface. So if you allow it to
Okay.
get to the surface, that turion that it produces really blooms then.
I see.
And then that will release off, float, and then sink, and the turion can live up to, well, they say 25 years, but you don't know when it'll bloom. It don't necessarily bloom the following year. So you want to treat it before it can flower.
Oh, very well.
And
I'm
so-
glad you're on top of it. Thank you.
So that's the trick.
Very good. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
No problem. Anything else, gentlemen? Hearing none, we got a motion, a second, to approve the performance plan budget levy of Crookneck. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you so much, Dan.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Have a great day.
You too.
Hope everything goes good for you.
That's, when he's here, that's like a class on
Land Services Report.
lake improvement district.
Good morning.
Good
How are you doing today, Amy?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Okay, good morning. I have a few things for you today. The first one is to consider the interim use permit request from Jason Pauley. And this was to continue the operation of an automotive repair shop. This was recommended for approval with 8 conditions by the Planning Commission. I'll go through those. First, abide by all applicable state and local laws regarding automotive repair and proper disposal of fluids and wastes. 2, maintain records of disposal of automotive fluids and wastes and provide for review of records at the request of the Land Services Department. 3, by October 31st, 2025, the property owner shall remove existing scrap and inoperable vehicles on site that are not there for repair. 4, no outdoor storage of vehicles or vehicle components except for the vehicles on site for service shall be located on the property. 5, the property owner shall plant and maintain at least 1 row of evergreen trees along the entire property frontage on Skyview Ridge Road, and this shall be completed by June 1, 2026. 6, the interim use permit shall terminate when the current property owner ceases to own the property. 7, the applicant shall implement the necessary holding and treatment for the wastewater generated from the shop in compliance with state and local laws. And 8, the publicly posted hours of operation shall be 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday.
I'll make a motion for more discussion.
Motion made by Commissioner Winter,
I can second it.
second by Commissioner Casper. Discussion?
Yeah,
Commissioner Winter.
Mr. Chair, again, I was at the planning commission, and they did a good job on it, but there's just some of the things in these conditions that, you know, I just would like to discuss, and I talked to Amy, I talked to the landowner briefly, and if Amy, if you could kind of show what we discussed, because it's too much for me, so, they're in my district, and like I say, there was just a few, the township, you know, was kind of weighed into me personally, so if I may, Mr. Chair, let Amy explain what we have.
Yes,
for
go ahead.
changes.
Go ahead, Amy.
Mr. Chair, there was some discussion about maybe redoing a few of these conditions to better address and more adequately address some of the issues that were brought up at the rezone hearing and the public hearing for the after-the-fact interim use permit. So the 7 conditions, I believe I sent those to Matt. These are this is an updated version, and I'll go through those. First one is the same as number 1, abide by all applicable state and local laws regarding automotive repair and proper disposal of fluids and wastes. The second one is the same, of maintaining records and providing for review. The third one, though, is different. This one is the total number of vehicles on the property, personal or for repair, shall not exceed 14. Vehicles and components stored outdoors shall be screened from view from Iris Road and Skyview Ridge Road with a privacy fence, and this shall be completed by June 1, 2026. And then number 4 is the same, the planting and maintaining of the evergreen trees. 5 is the same, interim use permit shall terminate when Mr. Polly ceases to own the property. Number 6 is slightly different. The applicant shall provide a wastewater holding design by December 31st, 2025, and shall install and implement the necessary holding and treatment for the wastewater generated from the shop in compliance with state and local laws by June 1, 2026. And then finally, the posted hours of operation would remain the same. So a little bit of rearrangement of those. Essentially, what the updated language in the proposed condition 3 and 6 do is put really black and white numbers and deadlines on those conditions, so they are much more easy to understand, interpret, and apply. Did I frame that correctly,
Yep,
Commissioner
you did a good
Winter?
job. Over a discussion, you did a good job.
What, you got rid of the existing scrap and inoperable vehicles then? Is that one you got rid of?
Correct, because since we're just going to max out the total number that can be there, he'll have to get down to that anyway.
Okay.
and if I may, Mr. Chair, to follow up with
Yes,
the
go ahead.
question, it was kind of an open end with, it said licensed vehicles, he could have as many as he wants. Well, it didn't really say, were there, you know, did they need to be current license, no license, they just need to have a license on them. So I think that one kind of gave him, he could have a lot of vehicles there, and not, and this way the numbers is black and white.
What about like the scrap? Where does that fall under then? Under,
That was in there
The
somewhere.
number 3, vehicles and components stored outdoors
components
shall be
is scrap.
screened.
Okay.
Yes.
And then for the end date, again, I spoke with him, you know, he didn't think he had enough time, so we obliged and we said, okay, let's give him, and we do that with some other permits. We give
it's
him
almost
a little-
winter too, so.
You know, so I think it works well, and again, Amy brought up at the, Board of Adjustment about the waste disposal, that was something too, that he didn't think he had time, so again, we would, give him a little extra time to discuss that.
So Commissioner Winter, you made the motion to approve, and you want to make the motion to approve with these 7 conditions that Amy gave us instead of the 8 that were provided to us.
Correct, that's what my motion would be with
Okay.
the new version of the.
Conditions, do you agree with that, Commissioner Casper?
I do.
So we got a motion and a second. Discussion.
I just got
Commissioner
one,
Moran.
Mr. Chair. The wastewater holding, he had said that he had a grease trap in there. Is that an acceptable form of this, or?
No, it's not. It's a step, but what he needs to do is contain that water. So, of course, a grease trap is certainly going to siphon off some of that, but it's not going to completely remove everything. And so, daylighting that is still an issue. So, that can work in conjunction with the wastewater, and it'll probably lower the concentration of the wastewater components, and it'll make disposal options for him. He'll have a little bit more at his discretion to be able to choose how he's gonna go with that.
Anything else, gentlemen? Got a motion and second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
All right, thank you. The next one, is it Van Heel?
Yes.
Okay. To consider the interim use permit for David and Karen Van Heel. Again, this is to establish a manure biofuel plant. This was recommended for approval by the Planning Commission as well, with 2 conditions. And that is that the interim use permit shall terminate 20 years from the issuance of the permit. And 2, the applicant shall coordinate with the Swanville Fire Department on selecting the gas monitor and shall purchase said monitor for the fire department's ownership.
What's the wish of the board?
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion made by Commissioner Blaine,
I'll second it.
second by Commissioner Moran. Discussion? Got something?
The only question I had is typically, the interim use permits, we usually run, with ownership of the property. Here we have it where we designate a significant number of years. And I was not able to be at this hearing, so.
The reason they picked 20 years is because we're in the middle of ordinance changes, and we figure that we will have them ordinance changes fixed by then.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, go ahead.
The other reason was that is the expected lifespan of the biofuel facility, and that is the contract term that Mr. Van Heel has entered into with biogas. So there was a few things centered around that 20-year lifespan that seemed appropriate.
Very good.
Any further discussion? Got a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
All right, and last thing I have, Mr. Chair, is to consider the conditional use permit request from Dale and Cheryl Mashuga. This is a request to meet the FEMA flood-proofing requirements for a residential structure, and this would be through internal flooding. And this was recommended for approval by the Planning Commission with no conditions.
What's the wish of the board?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion made by Commissioner Moran,
Second.
second by Commissioner Winter. Discussion? No, Amy, he had somebody go to the facility to inspect the installation of those.
That's
flood
correct,
things.
yes. So we have already received the engineer's review and the certification that it does meet the technical standards for FEMA.
Very good. Any other questions? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
All right, that's all I have, Mr. Chair.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Have a good day, Amy.
You too.
Amy, will you be in contact with my applicant after all this?
Yes,
Thank you.
sure will.
Administrator LeBlanc.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd invite Shannon to come forward for a first item.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, members of the board. Shannon Coyle, Auditor Treasurer. We had a request yesterday to add something to the agenda today, as the RDFA had voted last week to approve the creation of a new TIF district out near Royalton for Valley Hardwoods. The company's looking to expand and add on a new building on the north side of their property there. So in doing so, we need to hold a public hearing, which they would like to have on October 7th, as they want to start construction in early October.
So the motion would be to call for a public hearing for the TIF district. Is that
Correct. Yep,
Okay.
yep.
And has this went through their city council already and? Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, and Commissioner Blaine and I are looking back and forth at each other. Commissioner Blaine sits at for the county and mentioned it to me. This came in from DDA, David Brown Associates, who is helping the shepherd and chaperone this process through. I defer to Commissioner Blaine for the update by their board. However, to meet the timeline that they proposed, we brought this before board today, this resolution for the public hearing.
Did you have anything to add, Commissioner Blaine?
Well, number one, I want to say thank you to our administrator and staff for getting this to the board here this morning. And this applicant is looking at making a significant economic development move here in Morrison County and in Bellevue Township. And the tough part of this is trying to get this under construction yet this year, and so it's a timing phase. Commissioner Casper and I gave our word to the applicant and to the RDFA board that we would do everything we could to get this to a public hearing as quick as we could. To try and help this. We like this kind of development in our county. It includes not only the investment, but also the opportunity for more employees and greater opportunities here in Morrison County. And it's a very well thought out and presented plan, I thought.
What is the wish of the board?
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion that the board holds a public hearing on October 7th to consider the TIF district.
Motion made by Commissioner Blaine. Second by
second.
Commissioner Casper. Discussion?
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
And just to clarify, we'll advertise that for 9 o'clock, knowing we can start later but not earlier, if that's okay.
Very good. Sounds good.
One thing to note, we do have that other public hearing the same day for the naming of the geological feature,
Perfect.
so. Yep.
That sounds good. Any other discussion?
If I may,
Commissioner
Mr. Chair,
Winter?
Matt, the board starts at 9, so it'd be kind of, we're not going to have a public hearing right at 9, are we?
It could be first item on the agenda if we wanted to, Mr. Chair, but we can work through that.
Anything else? We got a motion, a second. Commissioner Casper?
Yeah, just for your information, this, Mr. Watuki, when he met with us at the meeting, he did a really good job explaining what he has in mind. He's got like a $1.2 million investment that he's putting in place out of pocket, and he's had a TIF like 20 years ago and came through, and he's just a very responsible constituent for our area.
He
A
is
lot of jobs? for a lot of jobs created, or?
This will add more jobs, but I think the other impressive thing is this is a $1.2 million expansion of his business where he's not looking for outside funding. He's not asking for anything from the county other than what we have done for other successfully expanded businesses where we have considered creating that TIF district. We've done this very successfully in my district with Mr. Machi, with Joe Machi and Swanville Ready Mix, and we see what kind of economic activity that's created over there and the impact it has for the county. So I'm excited about this. I'm excited for him and his business.
And too, Mr. Chair, you hardly can see his buildings back there. I mean, when you drive by his business, it's like, you don't have, I mean, he's.
You'd never know it was there.
And he does a good job.
Administrator LeBlanc?
Mr. Chair, and the ask of DDA and RDFA on this is to adopt the resolution that I have before you that I passed out. And if the board would like, I can read the resolution. It encompasses the public hearing, but it also has some additional language on there.
Mr. Chair, I'm gonna throw a bone at this here. For people out in, I know what it means. What does TIF mean?
Tax increment finance.
But what, I understand that, to make it, what happens, where does this government or tax money go for the people out in Never Never?
Mr. Chair, can I respond?
Absolutely.
Okay, so basically a TIF district is, they're looking at a project and they're gonna take the future value of that project and start collecting the taxes today on that future values to help offset the costs of the project. In a nutshell, that's kind of what it is. Yep.
Anything else? Got a motion and second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Administrator LeBlanc?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just one other item. Thank you, Shannon.
Thank you, Shannon.
The Water Festival. So we received notice from our Morrison County Soil and Water this week of the upcoming Water Festival that will occur at Camp Ripley. The dates of the Water Festival, and they have invited the County Board of Commissioners. The dates are Tuesday, September 16th, and Wednesday, September 17th. The students should start arriving between 8:30 and 8:45 with opening comments and acknowledgement to the students at 9 o'clock. The board was invited here this week, as we've done in years past. So as we get into our schedules here, or I don't even know if we're going to talk those weeks, but I would acknowledge that currently our planning session was set to start the 16th at 8:30. I would propose that moves to 9:30, and that would still be, we could start after, just not before. That would give us time to make comments and move here to the government center. And then a budget committee to follow that. And that budget committee was, again, advertised to start at 9. We know it won't start at 9, but it'll follow the planning session to start later, not earlier.
Very good.
That's all I have, Mr. Chair.
Dates, Tabitha?
Excuse me for just a sec, in regards to that, was it 8 o'clock you want us at camp?
8:45. 8:45, would ask the Board of Commissioners, those that would be present or attending on the 16th and 17th at 8:45.
Oh, very good, thank you.
Dates are September 14th through September 27th.
That's me. On September 14th, there's an open house at Camp Ripley for everybody to attend. It's pretty cool. If you got little ones, they really enjoy it.
What time does that start?
Oh,
10 o'clock.
10.
On the 14th?
Yep. They got planes out there, helicopters, fire trucks, lots of fire trucks.
Can you go through the environmental center?
Yep. Museum. Oh, it's a great day, right there. Okay, on the 16th, planning session, 8:30. Budget committee meeting.
And that's the, Mr. Chair, and that's
9
when we'll
o'clock.
put to
9:30.
9:30.
Water festival, 8:45. Budget What do you want to say for that?
To follow
10?
planning.
To follow planning. PC BOA, 6 o'clock. 17th, Water Festival. I will not be at that one. I have a Public Health Advisory meeting, 5 o'clock, here in the boardroom. 18th, there's a Safety Committee meeting, 2 o'clock, Pierce Conference Room. 23rd, Board meeting, 9 o'clock. And 24th, HRA. That's all I got. Commissioner Blaine.
On Thursday, the 18th, the Egg Society should be meeting, and I would believe that we would probably still be out at the fairgrounds,
What time?
7 p.m. If that time changes, I will alert you. The only other thing I have is Region 5 Commission meeting on the 25th at 6 p.m. That's all I got
That's all I
for
got.
you.
Thank you, Commissioner Blaine. Commissioner Casper?
Okay, Mr. Chair, on Tuesday, the 16th, at 5 o'clock, Great River Regional Library, St. Cloud. And then you've got me covered until the next week. On the 22nd, we'll have community development. That's a day earlier than normal just because of getting the bean counters in there. It's the only time they could make it. And then Thursday, the 25th, Round River Water Project over at Malacca at 4:30. And then Friday, the 26th, 9 o'clock, Mississippi Headwater Board up at Walker, Minnesota. That's it, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner Casper. Commissioner Wincher?
Okay, again, we also have the Water Fest at 8:45 on Thursday, the 18th, we're gonna be out there.
Wednesday.
No, Tuesday, excuse me, Wednesday, you're right. And then,
17th.
the 22nd, we have extension at 5:30. That'll be here at the courthouse.
22nd?
Yep.
I didn't have that, thank you.
And I got down, Historical Society's gonna be out in Belle Prairie,
Oh, for the women in fur trade.
so that's at 6 o'clock.
When is that?
On the 25th, Historic Society, 6 PM at Belle Prairie.
Matt sent us that too.
And then on Friday, the 26th, Soil and Water at 8 o'clock.
Thank you, Commissioner Wincher. Commissioner Moran?
Wednesday, the 17th, the 5 o'clock virtual with Hands of Hope. And Wednesday, the 24th, a 1 o'clock Central Minnesota Emergency Services Board at the St. Cloud City Hall.
All right. Anybody got anything else?
Mr. Chair?
Yes, Commissioner LeBlanc.
Let me just verify. I think we've got a 4-H breakfast. Are we on that? Yeah, the 23rd, prior to the board meeting. I think they're normally 8:45 or 8:30, but I can confirm that time. I would,
Did everybody send in their size for their t-shirts?
I did.
Did you?
Yep.
Did you?
Got her in there.
Yep.
She told us the color, but I forgot already. They told
red,
us.
the color red.
What date was that?
The 23rd of September.
Our next board meeting.
I think they told us at the planning session, all our shirts will be in our cubbies.
Very good. Anything else? Hearing none? Meeting adjourned.